If you're working in a news environment and you're looking to create shareable, engaging, interesting, accessible content, the most important thing is to understand your audience, the people that you're trying to cater towards in the first place. That might seem like a very straightforward concept, but for news journalists, our instinct is to think about what's important before we think about where our audience is sharing and how they're consuming news. And often they don't work hand in hand. So, for example, I might know that there is a speech that we're covering from a news perspective, or a conference that we're covering because we know it to be important, but the audience might be interested in some very small element within that conference, or some element that is covered in the speech but isn't about the whole speech. You need to understand what they're interested in the first instance. The second thing is, once you've discovered and learnt more about your audiences, how they interact with news, what things they tend to share and how they engage in that content, you've got to make the content relevant and accessible. That means you've got to write it in a way with the right tone, with the right language, with the right use of images, with the right use of video, to create a shareable experience. In other words, you're not just presenting them with a series of facts or a long bit of text, but you're giving them something that they would want to share themselves with people they know, with people they're in contact with, that they're not just reading for their own benefit, but they will want to do something actively with. And that's quite a difficult thing to do, because quite often as journalists, when we decide to write about something or broadcast about something, we concentrate on telling the story rather than creating a shareable experience. I think if you're going to think about news that is shareable and is engaging, tone and tone of voice is absolutely essential. And by that I mean, don't take yourself too seriously. Try to think about the way people talk in everyday life. So avoid using overcomplicated terms. Try to think about humour, as you rightly say. Think about how people would respond to a story that somebody else was telling them, and try to put yourselves in the shoes of a person who is responding to a piece of news for the first time. What is it that would make them feel excited, enthused, interested, and want to do something physically with that, i.e. tell somebody about it?